Let's jump into this first story. Trump says he's made up his mind about 2024. Big decision is timing of announcement. I love this. The Hill reports. They say former President Trump said he has made a decision about running for the White House. Well, in my own mind, I've already made that decision, so nothing factors in anymore. In my own mind, I've already made that decision. He added, do I go before or after? That will be my big decision. The interviewer then said midterms, and he said midterms. Let people know. I think a lot of people would not even run if I did that, because if you look at the polls, they don't even register. Most of these people, he said, and I think that you would actually have a backlash against them if they ran. People want me to run. He could not have said in any more clear terms he's running, short of outright saying, I'm running. So Trump 2024, I guess. There we go. And I mean, it is relatively early for a president to make a bold statement like this. I know he didn't formally declare. But even with Hillary, the meme was she's running over and over again because she really waited as long as possible to even suggest she would run.
What are the legal ramifications for announcing for him?
You can't take money from certain people, or you can only take a certain amount of money from certain groups and people. It's so honorable the way Hillary Clinton did it, right?
Oh yeah,
because she made sure to get those big fat Goldman Sachs paychecks before she announced she was running. Yeah, we know how that works.
Those very expensive speaking engagements.
That's right.
I feel like these laws really incentivize people to kind of hedge until, like Hillary Clinton did. She got a bunch of money and then she announced she was running. It seems very shady, and it seems like we're making it easier for them to do that. And I don't think we should make it easier for politicians to be dishonest. Call me crazy.
So I love this from CNN. It sure sounds like Donald Trump is running in 2024. Oh, come on, Chris Cillizza. Just say Trump is running. We all know.
Sure does.
But I'll tell you what really frustrates me about this, and what I think is actually the bigger story, is Donald Trump's penchant for giving people who despise him the scoop. Why? Why does he keep helping these people? Mm-hmm. This was a big deal. His informal announcement that he's decided he's going to run and that he wants to announce soon, and people may drop out. And he goes to Olivia Nuzzi of, I think it's New York Magazine. Mm. And the first thing they do, let me see if we can, we'll pull up this story. The whole first paragraph is just disparaging Trump and smearing him with every possible negative story imaginable.
He knows better than this.
It's incredible. He's the guy who who did he look at? Jim Acosta? You are fake news. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to one of the biggest announcements, does he go to Breitbart? Does he go to Human Events? Does he go to Post Millennial? Does he go to Crowder or Timcast or any independent outlet?
Not.
He goes to the people. The first thing they do, this whole paragraph, I can try to read it fast. It's very long. All right, here we go. Here's the first paragraph of Donald Trump's interview with New York Magazine. Donald Trump was impeached twice, lost the 2020 election by 7,052,770 votes, is entangled in investigations by federal prosecutors over the Capitol insurrection and over mishandling of classified White House documents and over election interference in the District of Columbia Attorney General over financial fraud at the Presidential Inaugural Committee and the Manhattan District of Attorney over financial fraud at the Trump Organization and the New York State Attorney General over financial fraud at the Trump Organization and the Westchester County District Attorney over financial fraud at the Trump Organization and the Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney over criminal election interference in Georgia and the Securities and Exchange Commission over rules violation and plans to take his social media company public through a SPAC and the House Select Committee on January 6th, whose hearings are the runaway TV rating today this summer. Yet on Monday, July 11th, he was in a fantastic mood. Why would you give an interview to someone who's going to introduce you and your ideas in that way?
You know, I actually think that giving it to Olivia proves his priorities, which is that, you know, he doesn't really care to run for America. He cares to pick up where he left off, fighting with reporters and getting attention.
Yeah,
I think it's
right.
A huge distraction. Mm-hmm. From what we really need from a presidential candidate right now. It's unfortunate to see him doing this right out the gate.
You know what this says to me? This says to me that Donald Trump has learned nothing. He's learned nothing. He always wanted the media to be his friend. He wanted them to be on his side. Even as he was calling them the fake news, he would still give all these super combative interviews. He has learned nothing. I see no way that he would fire the people who need to be fired.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make any changes if he does run again, even if he does win.
I can't believe he went to New York Mag for this.
Ridiculous.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Well, maybe for the real announcement, he'll do it with an ally.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Is there any way to get the analytics?
It doesn't have to be an ally. It has to be somebody who's just going to give you the news, you know?
Is there any way to grab analytics on this article that was written about his announcement that he's considering announcing for president? Because he could have come on, if he did it on a show like this, he'd have 1.6 million views overnight, and it would be his face and his voice, which is what gets you elected, not text. Except in Biden's case, apparently. Somehow.
Yeah, well, he resisted going to any alternative platforms for the longest time until he had his own, and he's very clearly resisting. Yeah, he went to this lady. Holy crap.
Take a look at this from Ground.News, bias fact check. Olivia Nuzzi interacts, 92% of the news she interacts with is left-leaning. Look at that tiny little morsel of right-wing in there, which is probably like 4% or something. And Donald Trump decided that he's going to go to the people who smear him, who defame him, who attacked him, who propped up the lies, who lied about Kyle Rittenhouse, who lied in defense of Justice Smollett, who lie about him. And then first chance they get when he sits down with this woman is she opens the entire paragraph smearing him in every imaginable way. Because I want to make sure this point is clear. Just because people who hate Trump are trying to dig up dirt on him, opposition research, or investigate him, doesn't mean Trump did something wrong. We are innocent until proven guilty in this country. Right. And people who are trying to smear Trump, we get it. They're going after him. But she makes it the entire introduction. I wish that he just went to, name any independent journalist. It doesn't have to be a conservative.
He could have just made a YouTube video and did a video. If just him talking to the camera, it would have been spectacular.
I was going to ask, who is, if you were to give an outlet other than Timcast, who do you think who would have been a good site for him to go to?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan?
But
Joe Rogan won't have him on, which I don't even know if I believe that.
I'm not sure about that either.
It's, given how Rogan's been talking lately, I'm not sure if I believe that. But
believe that he wouldn't have him on?
That he turned him down for that reason. Like, it just doesn't seem like him.
Yeah, I heard that Joe maybe just got fed up with them. I didn't hear that he got fed up with them. I'm imagining maybe he did, and he's just like, I'm done with that guy.
I don't understand why Joe would not have interviewed Trump. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think he wanted to at some point. He said he would host
He said, I don't want to help him.
Right. But he said he would have a debate between Biden and Trump before the 2020 election, and that never came to fruition, unfortunately.
But I'll stress this point we made last time we talked about this. When Joe Rogan says, I won't have Trump on because it would help him, think about what that means. Joe knows Biden can't do it, and Trump would be helped by it.
Right.
Whether he intended to or not, he was outright saying Donald Trump would do well and benefit from being on this show. Joe Biden wouldn't. Biden going on Rogan and for 2 hours?
3 hours, right?
3 hours.
I don't think he could do that.
Joe would cut him early.
He can't even be trusted to walk around the White House egg roll alone, right?
Yeah.
Biden can't. He has to have press handling him there. No way he could handle Rogan.
We've been having this inside joke about how people complain about when they do Rogan, they have to go to the bathroom so bad when they're done that Rogan has he loves it. He loves the fact that these people just can't go to the bathroom when they're recording.
But you can go to the bathroom on Joe's show.
But they were just picturing him being oh, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. And he starts playing waterfalls in the background.
Ari Shaffir went to the bathroom on Joe's show in his hallway, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes they just do a cut. Yeah. And sometimes if they just carry on or Joe's smoking or whatever, they just carry on.
Yeah.
So, people bounce from this show and go to the bathroom all the time.
If you got to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom.
You got to go.
We're just chilling.
There are times and places when not, but on podcasts, go to the bathroom.
It will add to the urgency of your performance if you don't.
It's true, yeah.
Anger, temperatures rise.
Now,
I'm so glad to learn the bathroom policy this early in the show.
Hold on. Your leisure.
If Joe Biden was on with Joe Rogan, 2 scenarios would occur. The first is that he would probably be getting up to go to the bathroom quite a lot.
Yep.
The second is that he would be the one person who doesn't need
Never
to get
went
up
to go to the bathroom. Yep.
Because
he's set.
He just goes
got
right where he is.
Depends.
I thought that's where you were going, but I wasn't sure.
I'm afraid so.
You went. Okay.
Could you imagine watching Rogan with Biden and then Joe says something but come on, man. Joe Rogan says, come on, you're talking about the mass printing of money. That's got to have some kind of inflationary effect. And then it cuts to Joe, and Joe's just
oh, no. Oh, no.
What am I doing here?
Biden, Mr. President,
one more minute.
His eyes would go really wide for a second, and nobody would
pops
know it.
blood in his eye.
Oh, no. Oh, not the eye.
I saw a video of Biden, man. He looks worse than people realize.
Poor guy.
Well, the Israel... Are you talking about him coming off the plane, kind of disoriented?
What am I doing here?
It might have been that one. It was he sniffs a little boy.
Oh no! I saw that.
But he's just
over.
It was who was it who said he looks like the dude from Hannibal?
Oh
my God.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That was Lando. That was Dave.
Yeah. Dave Lando. That's amazing.
Dude, Biden does, and Trump did. This is funny. We just mentioned the other day Trump needs to announce ASAP because it puts Biden in the worst possible position. If Biden drops out due to his health or whatever after Trump runs, or Trump announces, then he's like, oh, Joe Biden ran away scared. The Democrats know they're not going to win. It will look really, really bad. And a big component to elections is many people vote for whoever they think is going to win. It's a weird thing about people in this country, especially. So that's bad. Or what if Joe bows out due to, or the Democrats pull him out? Like either way, if Trump announces and then Biden is out for some reason, the Democrats are going to lose significant support if they have any at all.
Do you think that's still an issue here with this polarized climate as we have right now, that people are still voting for who they think is going to win?
Maybe some people. I'll tell you the crazy thing. There was an article in Axios talking about the realignment, about how the Republican Party has become more diverse, racially diverse, and more working class, and the Democrats have become whiter and wealthier. That it's for sure. Trump lost white votes. That's the crazy thing. He gained votes in the black community, the Latino community along the Rio Grande Valley. And so the Democrats are becoming the elite white, they're the elite white liberals. Mm-hmm. So their concerns are not what regular people are concerned with.
No, I mean, just looking at the big issues that they're trying to talk about, they're so obsessed with abortion and, and pronouns and calling, people the right pronoun. And then meanwhile, real Americans are trying to get to work. They're trying to fill their tanks. I mean, it's so out of touch.
I want to play this clip for all you guys. For those big fans of Joe Biden, I got a clip for you. Steve Guest says Joe Biden tries to shake hands with nobody again, and he does. And here's the video of Joe Biden. Whoa, let me get
switch the audio.
Yeah, the audio was always in the wrong setting.
Time, darn it.
Here we go. We got you, everybody. Here we go.
לנשיא ארצות הברית. Thank you, President Herzog and President Biden.
Okay, we're gonna do a slow motion play-by-play.
Whoa.
Here we have President Joe Biden at the podium. He goes to shake the hand of this man. I don't know who that guy is. And he turns to reach his hand out.
Who's over there?
And there's no one there.
Dun,
Here's
dun.
the best part. Wait, you really got to see this. He reaches his hand out to shake, pauses, and then looks at his hand like he's tripping. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. What is
see that?
he on? Then he just points. He's like,
And then
I'm
he
going
points.
this way.
But it's the
Okay.
weirdest thing where he reaches his hand out and then he just looks at it
What
like,
is this?
what is this thing attached to me by my body?
Oh my gosh.
If it was Hunter, it'd be because he'd been up for 3 days at a time and he wasn't
Right.
seeing things. But it really does end speech, repeat the line. It gets harder and harder to ignore for regular people, and I do think that the average ordinary citizen, maybe the reason Trump has not kept his going the way that things are is because he feels like any deviation from things will mix up the momentum of letting them screw up what they're doing.
Never interrupt your enemy.
Yeah, Joe Biden, when he ran, he didn't actually run. You know, he kept calling a lid.
Yeah.
And when you watch this video, he reaches his arm out. He's not pointing. He's reaching his arm out, open palm, and then he just looks at his hand. Look at that. He's like, huh? He's like staring at his hand.
There's no one here.
Now, here's the best part. The last time this happened, PolitiFact said, President Joe Biden was confused, turned around, and shook hands with thin air after a speech. False.
How did they square that circle?
They said, oh, he was just gesturing to the crowd. It's like, dude, he did it again. This is the game they play.
Yep.
It's like Joe Biden could fall down and start screaming, and they would be like, he was auditioning for a movie. Actually, totally normal. The first time he ever said end of quote, they were like, he's not reading the prompter wrong. It was part of the speech. Most people say end of quote when they're ending a quote. Then he says it again.
Repeat line.
Repeat the line. He goes, end of quote. Repeat the line. And it's, dude, you read the instructions. Look, man.
It's a Ron Burgundy moment.
I was
Beyond Ron
So
Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
Last night I was praying for this man's mental health, just his health in general.
Yeah.
As much as I understand he's bad at his job, I want him to fail, so let's just harp on him until he's gone. But a sick-minded president can ruin the world. So we need maybe not we need to support him in some way, acknowledging that he shouldn't be the president.
Ian, a sick-minded president could ruin the world.
He's doing it.
He is ruining the
doing
world,
it right
dude.
now.
He gave a million barrels of our strategic oil reserve.
He surrendered to the Taliban.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Come on, man.
He gave our oil to China. To Sinopec. And then the media's fact-checking me, being like, Tim Pool's opinion on that being a bad thing is wrong. Okay, dude.
When he bit his wife's hand during the
What was
speech
that?
too?
That's
That was
amazing.
funny. Remember when he was in the shower?
What?
You
Yeah.
didn't know that?
Yo, you didn't see that picture?
She's like, she
gotta
reaches
see this
out and then he just
picture.
goes like, bites her hand.
That's amazing. That's what my cat does to me.
That was still on the campaign trail, I believe.
I remember when he mixed up his sister and his wife.
That was weird too.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, we should have known.
Oh, it's no big deal.
my
He
gosh.
just nibbled on his wife's finger in a bizarre campaign
Just a
stop
nibble.
moment.
Just a loving
It's
nibble.
very cute affection.
Yes,
right?
it's a sign there's no trouble in paradise. The Bidens are romantic and happy.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, to say Joe Biden bites wife is a little bit over the top.
Biden bites wife.
But
yeah.
Biden bites wife. But I think what you see with a story like this is that he's just not cognizant of his surroundings.
Yeah.
Like he's lost his filter.
Yeah.
You don't do this. And then everyone was like, "Oh, it was funny. It was, his wife and he
It's
nibbles
not
at her."
funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
It's terrifying. It's not funny.
weird. It's so weird. Look at this. What is this? What is this image?
Somebody sent me that picture today and they're like, why does this picture exist? And I was like, that really happened.
Her hand is cold.
I was hungry. Come on, man. What?
Fingernails.
Thought it was a snack.
I don't know, dude.
Butterfingers.
Yeah.
Well, so look. Trump informally announces he's running, but this poll comes out. The New York Times, Times Siena poll saying that 44-41 Biden wins. There's obviously other polls saying that's complete bunk. There's another poll I was reading today that said Trump wins 43-41.
It's going to be too close.
I just can't imagine, and this could be hubris, that Joe Biden could beat Trump in a rematch. It's like, it's one thing when Biden shows up, says, I'm going to run against Trump, and then all the media does is say that COVID is Trump's fault, and then says nothing about Joe Biden. Joe Biden hides.
Yeah.
So the only news story, and it was crazy because we mentioned this back during the campaign. I was like, if the media only focuses on Trump, then there's going to be nothing about Biden, so people will be voting against Trump. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
So now Joe Biden is known to people, and they're not happy with it. Joe Biden's approval rating in aggregate is lower today than where Trump's was at the same time in his presidency. And here's the best part. His approval rating is lower today than where Trump's was after January 6th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he lose just on the economy?
Biden?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Is that enough alone beyond the bizarre behavior?
I'd say yes normally, but Democrats are the party of the wealthy elites, and they're cultists. They believe insane things. They're in a bubble. They don't know what's going on in the real world. They believe the Kyle Rittenhouse lies, the Covenant Catholic lies. They believed Jussie Smollett.
Right.
Imagine you're on a sinking ship, and there's like someone comes and says, I have a set of instructions to save the boat from sinking. You're like, okay. And the other guy walks up to you and goes, I think Jussie Smollett was telling the truth, and I'm the one who's in charge. You're going to be like, okay, we're doomed, right? Like, how are we going to effectively fix this thing if that guy is the one who's supposed to be like, we have to argue with each other over how to save this ship?
Yeah, so on the question of the economy, I actually saw, and this was very unsettling to me because I've been harping about these shootings that have been happening in red states and then in blue states with and without gun control. And I said, I think that this is going to mean the Democrats pull alongside the Republicans over the economy. I think guns are going to become more important than the economy. And sure enough, it's showing that this is bringing them up alongside the Republicans as November is coming up, just like I thought it would happen. So I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but the fact that they have so well publicized these two different attacks, whether you have gun control or not, whether you have the armed good guy or not, whether you have red flag laws or not, you still have the same effect. I think that this has been an incredibly effective strategy for them to push the concept of guns to the forefront of the American public's mind.
Let me pull up this real quick just to drive it home. President Trump job approval from Real Clear Politics. This is the aggregate of all polling. I think they go back, what is it, like 10 polls or something? Check this out. After January 6th, Donald Trump's approval rating was 39.3%. Wow. It tanked. Joe Biden today is 38.6.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's remarkable.
It wasn't an event that caused it either. It's just
it's just like slow
performance.
decline.
Yeah, it wasn't like a sharp dip like it was with Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, with Trump, like all of a sudden, everybody heard this thing and they were like, dude.
Yeah, if a war gets started, it spikes up. If some dumb crap happens, it spikes down. But this is just an example of a president that's presiding over a sinking ship.
And Ian,
he's sinking it.
Do you know why Joe Biden's approval dipped and his disapproval spiked above his approval rating? Do you know what was the catalyst for it?
I bet I know.
Wait, which point? Right there. Tell me, is that
You see the
Afghanistan? Is that the date?
Afghanistan.
That's right.
He submitted to the
Afghanistan.
Taliban. That's a big dip too.
After Joe Biden surrendered, failed, and I mean, this is one of the reasons I believe that Joe Biden is not the puppet people think he is. He's more like, I'm not saying he's in charge. I'm saying he sort of is, and everyone's kind of confused. But he's still being given instruction by his aides who are trying to help him, right? Like you can have, you can hire someone to help you who tells you what to do, but you're still in charge, right? Afghanistan was such a complete and total failure that made no sense, made absolutely zero sense. Joe Biden was in the Situation Room, probably going, "Oh, get the airport," and then they like evacuate Bagram. The American people saw that, and after the abandoning of our troops, the was it 13 brave men and women who were killed outside the airport, Joe Biden's approval rating has never come back. Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's a good point. That was it. That was it for me.
I mean,
I never
those
really liked
images
that.
of the plane of the
Yeah, that's the tip of the
That
iceberg.
was- that
You got to
was-
talk to Tim Kennedy about what he saw.
But people just need to realize this. When Ian, who has never been like a big Trump guy, is like, Joe Biden surrendered Afghanistan, like is that animated about it? I think that's a good barometer for a lot of people who aren't particularly active in politics.
I believe we should focus on this job of the president as the commander of the military. That is their number one job, is the commander-in-chief of the military. And if they don't have a military mind, like Donald Trump, whatever, he didn't know that they were playing shell games on him and lying to him about troop movement. Hindsight's always 20/20. I don't know what if he could have done it better. Probably could have done it better. Listening to Kurt Schlichter last night explain like what a president could do to take control of his military command. It sounds not that complicated if you know what to do, but these guys didn't know what to do. Trump didn't know what to do. Biden didn't know what to do.
But will Trump really do it? You know, like we mentioned just a moment ago, he comes to these far left extremist journalists and he gives them the interview. Not only are their outlets dying and they don't get the traffic, they despise the man and will lie about him and smear him. And so that's why I'm saying you don't even have to go to a sympathetic reporter. You just go to independent media and then force the establishment to cover the scoop you gave to somebody else. Or like you mentioned, do a YouTube video.
Yes, of course, off the script, just talk. If you watch it back and you don't like it, make a new video, but then upload like a candid, normal video being like, "Hey guys, I've been thinking about it. It's on the horizon. Get ready." People would be lit. It would be so exciting for people to see that and to see him talking straight.
Does he have his own YouTube channel?
I don't
know.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
That would be great.
If he just became a YouTuber.
He could do
If
Rumble.
Trump-
Yeah.
we got
YouTube would probably delete him, right?
Eventually.
Content creator
Yes.
Donald
Like-
Trump.
Yes.
Likely, but still, it'll be epic.
If like I don't watch a lot of YouTube at all, I would legit be watching the Trump channel every day.
sure.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that 26
It would be
million
the
views
best
overnight.
channel.
It'd be like,
Could you? So you saw that post where he roasted Elon, and he's like, electric cars that don't go far enough, driverless cars that crash, rockets.
don't go
Imagine
anywhere.
him actually saying it to the camera. It would just be the best.
then Elon makes a
That's why
video
we watch The
response.
Apprentice.
Yes. Well, okay. So it's funny you brought up The Apprentice. When I got pregnant, I got super obsessed with the housewives, and all the housewives have appeared on The Apprentice, and a ton of them have. And I wanted to go back and watch these Apprentice. I cannot find them anywhere. I think that I think it might have been NBC. I don't know. That could be wrong, but I think they took everything off air. It's crazy. Anyways, he was hysterical.
Yeah.
He was like a comedian, like thinking back to some of the stuff that he said. Yes, I don't agree with, some of the way he phrased things and how insulting he was. No, it was not presidential, but oh, man, he could make me laugh my ass off.
Do you remember when Trump blamed the lights for making him orange?
Yeah.
He's self-aware.
good. Yeah, he
and he's
is.
funny. I have been to so many Trump rallies. They are stand-up comedy routines. It was like George Carlin in a sense, where he's talking about mainstream political news and the issues, and he was just joking about everything, and people are laughing and clapping, and I'm like, this man knows how to entertain. And that's powerful. That's charisma.
Yeah. I mean, he's funnier than comedians
Yeah.
because
Oh,
comedians are trying so hard to be these culture champions and everything now. Like watching Trump just do it, it's so funny.
Only Rosie O'Donnell. It was just,
so good.
it was just perfect timing. He had an answer right out the gate. Everyone burst in laughing in uproarious laughter.
So funny. He was a timing genius.
Yes.
Somebody said that what he should have done is built his own like Oval Office White House set, and then like had a YouTube channel after he lost the election, where he just second guesses and pretends and does all the stuff that they should do instead, and just and do that on YouTube. He'd make
the parallel presidency.
So
he's funny and he's self-aware, but he's
hilarious.
not quite humble enough to make fun of himself.
Yeah.
He won't really do it enough. I think if he really made fun of himself, then he'd get a lot more people on his side.
I think you're right. Like, I think that, like, on one hand, it's the lack of humility is what makes him a not capable leader, but like you have to be strong to lead in that sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like the fact that you're that you don't have the ability to laugh at yourself, or you don't have the ability to take a joke at your own expense.
But Trump does. And it doesn't matter. If people are in a cult, they're in a cult.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Brandon Strzok, his story is really, really powerful. How he thought Trump was all of these things, and then he watched a video that proved everything he thought wrong, and it was physically painful for him, but he was able to break out of it.
Right.
And now he's like one of the biggest Trump supporters. I don't know if as of right now, but he became one of them. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Come hang out live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Super Chat will even answer some of your questions. If you want to check out the After Hours Censored Show, go to timcast.com and become a member. We put those up Monday through Thursday at 11 p.m. They're very funny, not very family friendly. We'll love to see you there. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.